everybody, welcome back for another session of the Hopry. My name is Mark Starr, and today I'm going to share a good barley wine with you. Now, I've been a little under the weather lately. We had a lot going on over the holidays, and somewhere along the way I picked up a little cold, and so I've had to take off, maybe a week or so from doing these reviews. So if you're paying attention on a regular basis, you've probably seen that I've slowed down a little bit. Hopefully I'll get back up to speed here fairly soon. But because I'm almost at the end of my cold, as you can probably tell by my voice, I've got, I've still got a little bit of a cold. So I don't have a ton of ability to smell and taste, though I think I'm pretty much past the big part. And I'll tell you, that's hard for a beer drinker to have a cold, because if you can't smell or taste, well, what's the point? So today I'm going to share with you not only one of my favorite styles of beer, but one of my favorite breweries. I really love this brewery. They're called Mikkeller, and they are from Denmark. But what's interesting about them as well, though, is that they brew in a lot of other countries. This one in particular is actually brewed in Belgium, along with about half of the beers that they brew. So I guess I can only imagine that they probably have limited space, and so they try to get in and brew where they can. Mikkeller is actually, I think sincerely one of the best breweries out there. I kind of consider them the European version of Dogfish Head. And the reason why I say that is that most of their beers are really high in alcohol. They're really trying to push the boundaries of beer. And this is obviously one of those as well. This is their Mikkeller Big Worse barley wine, and this one sits right in at 12%. So it's a pretty hefty beer. So I'm going to go ahead and start pouring it. Now I kind of took the cork out most of the way before I started the review. Again, I wanted to let this one sit out a little bit, and I actually really like Mikkeller's corks. They're not the traditional style of cork. They don't expand real big after you pull them out. So I actually save these anytime I can. That way, if I've got another beer, like another 750 milliliter beer, for example, that I just can't finish one day, I'll go back and find my Mikkeller corks, and I'll just recork that beer and then try to finish it off the next day. So I'm going to go ahead and give this one a pour. So right away as I'm pouring it, I can already tell that there is, hardly any head on this, which leads me to, first thing, because there's so much alcohol in here, that it's really kind of hard to get any sort of head off of it. The color, I'll be honest, this is probably one of the least appealing looking beers that I've seen in quite a while. It's very murky. It's brown. I would say there's a touch of like a prune color in there. I'm not sure if you can see on there, but really not a whole lot of anything appealing about the color of the beer itself. Now I'm going to go ahead and try to open this one up a little bit. Let me go ahead and move some stuff around here so you can actually see it. But I'm giving it a pretty strong agitation, and still not a whole lot of head coming off of that. So let me go ahead and smell it. Now I am happy to tell you that I can already smell it. Like I said, I am starting to get my sense of smell back, for the most part. But let me go ahead and get my nose in there and see what we got going on. Man, I can really smell it, I'll tell you. There's lots of caramel in here. There's a, it's odd to think that you can smell sweet, but I can really smell the sweetness of this beer. I do also get a lot of those darker fruits like, like figs and prunes, dates, those really sticky sort of fruits that you normally get from, barley wines and Trappist beers and things like that. So believe it or not, I don't smell a whole lot of alcohol. I thought at 12% that I would be able to smell a lot, but I think there's so much malt in here, there's so much caramel coming out of here that it really kind of covers that up. Now I do get a lot of hoppiness as well. It's not the, you know, like the West Coast IPA sort of hops where, you know, they have that mango or grapefruit sort of smell. This is more of a sort of hop component that reminds me of, you know, like caramelized onions. And I know that probably sounds funny, but the next time you smell caramelized onions and you smell this beer, I have a feeling that you're going to see what I mean. But so let's go ahead and give it a spin. I mean, this thing is huge. It's a monster. I'll be honest with you too. It tastes like it's about 15 to 18% alcohol. So definitely pulling a lot of that alcohol in with the drink. You know, I wouldn't say that it's off-putting. I actually really kind of like the way this one tastes. Though I will say it's really cloying, meaning that I think it's a little too sweet. I don't think the bitterness quite matches the sweetness. I do think the sweetness kind of wins out here. I do really like the flavor though. I think the flavors that come out of here, you know, like in the prunes and the dates and, you know, the caramel malts, I'm really kind of feeling that. I like that a lot actually. And it's just sitting there on my tongue. I mean, it's coating my tongue, it's coating my teeth, it's coating my cheeks. Hell, it's coating the inside of my stomach. I mean, you know, this is a really good beer, I think, for wintertime. It's, you know, it's something that's more along the lines of, you know, almost like a brandy. It's very warming, very strong, extremely flavorful. So for that, you know, I really will give Mikkeller the benefit of the doubt. I think their intention with this beer is probably to, you know, share this bottle between you and another person. Really kind of take your time and sip it. You know, beers like this, they can sit out at room temperature for quite a while. You know, so if it does start to warm up, that's perfectly fine. In fact, I think the closer this one gets to room temperature, the better it will be. So, and what's the size on this bottle? I think this is only a 350 milliliter bottle, 12.7 ounces. So it's just over, you know, a regular 12-ounce beer. But again, you know, at the end of the day, is this the best beer I've had? No, it's not. I really am a fan of barley wines. And if you're looking for a barley wine that you can just kind of sit back and sip, I really highly recommend this one. I know they used to have a test batch of this beer, and I think it was called the Big Bad Mikkeller, the Mikkeller Big Bad barley wine. And this is just the beer that they've replaced that with, where they've upped everything in it. So it's called the Big Worse barley wine. But anywhere you can find Mikkeller, you'll probably see this. I know they do a lot of beers that are in this 12.7 ounce size. You know, like the Black Hole, the Mikkeller X, you know, they're doing a lot of those, and I think those are, you know, meant to be the extreme beers. So this one's definitely extreme, but anyway, I'm going to go ahead and sit here and probably take the next hour, hour and a half to finish this, but anyway, I'll post some what I've been listening to lately. As you can tell, I've been listening to Danzig a lot lately, so I'll probably recommend that for now. But if you're following me on Twitter, you can go to twitter.com/thehopry, and always go to my website, www.thehopry.com, and we'll talk to you guys later. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.